And I just want to say, before I start getting into things, no matter what I say, I am not going to be able to make even half of you that are watching this video feel better. That's not my point. That's not what I'm trying to do. Just trying to provide some perspective. I understand. You're angry. You have a right to be angry. You have a right to be frustrated. You have a right to be sad. You have a right to be anxious. You have a right to be optimistic. You have a right to feel whatever it is you're feeling when it pertains to the Toronto Maple Leafs at any given point, because they never make things easy. Heading into this series between the two teams, Montreal and Toronto, Toronto was the favorite. On paper, if you look at the two teams, the standings, if you want to look at the advanced stats, if you want to look at everything that you possibly can consider, the Toronto Maple Leafs were the favorite to win this series. And that's not me being a homer. That's me telling you the truth. That's the way that it was. But just because they were expected to win in 5 or 6 games by a lot of models, it doesn't necessarily mean that that was a given, right? You still have to play the games. But maybe my time would be better spent talking about the way that they've lost the last 2 games, because I think that's what's frustrating to most people. You don't show up for the first period, you don't show up for the second period, you show up halfway through the third period, basically, you claw your way back into the game, and it's a horrible, horrible, inexcusable giveaway to end it in overtime. Like I said, you have a right to be frustrated. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm not going to try to sway that. No, be angry. Be angry. Be frustrated. Be sad. Be annoyed. Be anxious. Right? It's all part of being a fan. The one thing that I'm afraid of is that some Leaf fans aren't going to be able to get over their expectations not being met, even if they do win Game 7 and move on to round 2. Like, the bar really is as high as it can possibly go, especially when some people saw the North Division and that was going to be a thing, and then they found out the way that the playoff structure was going to break down, and the Leafs only needed to be the best team in Canada throughout the first and the second round in the regular season to make it to a makeshift conference finals. Right away, that was the expectation. And I'm not saying that it was wrong to set the expectations there. No, we're 5 or 6 years into having Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and William Nylander. That should definitely be the goal. That should be the target. Conference finals or bust. And I'm having a really hard time formulating a point right now because I am just as angry, sad, disappointed, nervous, anxious. Did I say scared? For what Monday night has in store for us. But I feel like I have an obligation to not just yell and scream and blow hot air into a situation where the fan base can only be described as a pressure cooker. And going into Monday night's game, that pressure cooker is either going to burst in anger, excitement, or slowly just relieve itself, depending on the outcome. And again, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm only going to tell you how I feel. And if and when they win or lose Game 7, I don't think it's going to take away any of the excitement that I would have if they win, just because it happened in 7 instead of 5 or 6 like everyone expected. But I understand that people are feeling as frustrated as they are because it's the way that we got to Game 7. And you definitely have a right to feel that way. And now that I've taken the time to try to be rational, I guess this is where the video opens up a little bit. This is the thing that easily frustrated me the most, and if you're a Leaf fan heading into Game 7, this is what would worry me the most. This is the second best player on the team. This is your leading point scorer, and this is how he is choosing to deal with adversity with 33 left in the third period in a game that is 1-0 right now. I know Montreal would go on to score on that power play and it would be 2-0, but this is how one of the best players on the team chooses to deal with adversity. I understand that he was frustrated with himself, but to be sitting in the penalty box on the verge of tears and needing to be consoled by William Nylander, it's like, get yourself in the game, man. Get yourself in the game. Because in order to win Game 7, we need Matthews and Marner in the game. And if this is the way he's going to handle adversity, I don't have much hope. I'm sorry. I told you, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I'm going to tell you how I feel. And you can interpret it however way you want to. I don't care if you're going to dislike the video because he's your favorite player and I'm hating on him right now. This is a cause for concern. Because I don't like giving Mike Babcock credit. Trust me, I think the guy's a moron. But there were a couple of things that he said in his tenure as head coach of the Leafs for, what was it, 4 seasons, that I agreed with. I think that that's okay to do. It wasn't all bad. And the one thing that he preached was body language. What message does this send from your leading point scorer through the regular season and your second best player on the verge of tears in the penalty box in an elimination game? What message does this send? Especially when he's a guy who's going to be counted on to play the majority of those minutes and be part of the solution, to be part of the comeback. I don't know if I'm even reading too much into it. Like, does it really matter? Does it really matter what happened in game 5 or 6 if they win game 7? I know that I said earlier in the video, my fear is that now, because it's gone to game 7 and the way that we've gotten to game 7, even if they win game 7 in advance, people won't be happy. That's my biggest fear, honestly, for Monday night. If they lose, they lose. That's really easy to talk about. But it's really hard for them to win and see people not even be happy about it. Just be just relieved that they did, basically, and not even feel excited about it. And it's like, I'm not picking on Scott's take here either, because it's not really a take. He's just stating stats. He doesn't have a point. This was the excuse last year, right? The low shooting percentage, it'll regress to the mean. Well, when's it going to happen? Game 8? There is no game 8. It's either Monday or never. So, to be fair, I'm not going to call Mitch Marner useless. I'm not even going to say that he's had a bad series. He's done literally everything but score. And for $10.9 million, this and not scoring is not good enough. And just to be fair to Mitch, Austin, I don't know what's going on with you, buddy. If you're dealing with something, maybe it'll come out after the series is over. But the team desperately needs both of these guys to step up and have big games. That's just flat out what it is. I don't even know how long I am into this video, and I haven't even mentioned the Jeff Petrie elbow to the head on Alex Galchenyuk, or Jake Muzzin possibly not playing Game 7, or Nick Foligno maybe not playing Game 7 either. It's just... it's an absolute mess. But it is Game 7, right? I guess anything can really happen. And if you're a Leaf fan, you don't want to hear it, but I guess credit to Montreal. To not give them credit, I think, would be overlooking it. I mean, they've played their game. The Leafs have gotten to them at some points, but they've bounced back. They've come back with something new every single time, and they've been a real handful. Start on time. Show up for the first period. Play the second period. Play the third period. Whatever happens in the end happens. At least you can say you did those things. And whatever does happen on Monday night, we'll be here on Tuesday to talk about it. And if it's not the outcome that we want, I can only promise you that I'll try my best.